Hey there everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of Kerbal Space Program. We're in version 0.19.1 right now. I'm really not sure what the latest changes were. I know Kerbal is now on Steam, and it's now also supported by Linux. Not sure what else there is. Anyway, this episode, just going to take a quick look at the tracking center here. You can see I just did a little bit of organizing there of all the probes in the Julian system and all that. Still doing their mission. But anyhow, most of the episode will be spent building a rover, a manned rover. And you'll see that soon, yep. Alright, well, hope that was entertaining for you. A little bit of ground testing there as well. Those Kerbals having a little bit of trouble getting in and out of the Rover, but hopefully that's all been fixed up. And now we have the wonderful launch tests. Yeah, this rover did not really want to behave, and I hope you guys get some enjoyment out of all these failed launches here. Yeah, well, here we go. This is actually the first attempt I ever made trying to launch this beast into space, and yeah, didn't work out too well. As you'll see in just a little bit here, just got to make sure all the gimbling is locked on all the outer engines there. Don't want to be wobbling around too much. Yeah, as you may have noticed, there are no struts really holding the top part together, and oh, okay, that's what happens. It just kind of folds in on itself, and frames go down to like 0.5 frames a second. Then we got a nice little explosion. Yeah. So that didn't last very long. What was that, like 100 meters off the ground, if that? Oops. And did cause some serious damage to the launch pad there and all the surrounding facilities, but that's okay. It's actually kind of cool in the release of the game. Hopefully it'll come up in one of the more wow, can't talk. Hopefully it'll show up in one of the coming patches, but they're going to be making it so that it'll actually hurt you if you hurt the launch pad. So if you end up dropping parts of your ship or something on there, you're gonna have to pay out of your pocket to fix that. It'll be in-game currency, obviously. It's not a pay-to-win game or anything like that. So they will have a currency system where you'll have to buy parts for your ship, and then if you mess up, well, you're gonna have to pay for those. Anyway, second launch here. Yeah, I'm just gonna cancel that because I realized I didn't set the gimbling and things started going out of control pretty damn quick. So we'll just retry that. This ship was nothing but trouble, honestly. It's really top heavy, and I think that's what the issue was. At the end, I will fix it, and unfortunately in this video it ended up being a bit too long, so I won't get a chance to show you the actual launch. That'll happen in the next episode. But yeah, I think all those nuclear engines at the top there just make it way too unwieldy. Anyway, here we go, third launch. Triple checking the gimbling there, making sure everything's good. Yep, I think we're good. I'm not getting that bug anymore where one of the engines just refuses to lock its gimbal when I have it set up in the action group. So I'm very glad that they fixed that. Anyway, here we go again. I'm gonna go a little slower this time. Make sure we keep everything under control and start accelerating a little bit more as I get a bit more confidence that this thing will be fine. And then it starts tilting to one side, like so. I don't know why it keeps tilting to that one side. The vehicle itself is fairly well balanced, so yeah. So let's try that again, shall we? And oh, that was a quick cut there. I don't know what happened. Maybe a double clip or something. Oh well. Here we go again. Let's see what happens this time. Starting off slowly again, accelerating a little bit more, and it's looking a lot better actually. Yeah, all right, here we go. Maybe we might have some success with getting an orbit, possibly. I guess the trick is to just keep it going as slowly as possible, and I'm still using SAS at this point, but I realized that SAS was actually kind of a pain in the ass. So, yeah, it tends to just make things super wobbly. And pretty much between all those cuts that you see, between all the ships that launches, I'm basically just going back to the VAB and adding more struts, and just basically adding more struts. And as you can see, it's definitely helping. So if you ever have trouble with your ships falling apart, add more struts. It's one of the best pieces of advice I could give. Those struts will save your life. Or, well, they'll save the little green Kerbal's life. Or it'll, you know, try its best to save their lives, but the Kerbal Space Program is not the most technologically advanced, so sometimes they have a bit of trouble with their ships blowing up. Anyhow, we're actually looking pretty good right here. going super slow, and I'm not too happy about that because I am wasting a lot of fuel, especially wobbling back and forth like this. But it's better than before. At least we're getting higher up. Yeah, that's something, right? Yeah, I'll see what happens in this run. Here we go, dump those tanks. We just have the 2 externals and the 1 main tank left. And we just hit around 10 kilometers, so it's time for us to start turning. And this is where things start getting crazy. Because it is so top heavy, when you start turning, you gotta be super careful and not turn too much. Because then the top will just, well, you'll see what happens in just a second here. But anyway, for now it looks good. We're still climbing steadily, still accelerating. Not too shabby. By this point, I'm just, I'm so thankful that things are working out nicely. Yeah. What's the saying? Don't count your chickens before they hatch? Yeah. Certainly do not count those chickens. But hey, it's still looking good so far, so you wouldn't blame me for thinking that this is going well. And I also had some serious trouble trying to get this thing under control. Like, if it starts drifting to one side, it's just... Well, also because I'm so low in the atmosphere, it's super hard to maneuver it because of how heavy it is. But at the same time, it's just... It feels like the weight on it, like the mass up top, is just throwing, like, it's just making the SAS just completely fail at its job. And right now I don't have SAS on, I'm trying to turn and nothing's happening. And as soon as I dump those tanks, it starts spinning. Yeah. If you look over on the left, well, not anymore, by this point I gave up, but when it started doing that, I was trying my best to keep it going the other way. I was trying to use RCS. It's not gonna listen. This ship needs some serious redesign. It's actually not too much of redesign. I honestly think it is just the engines up top in the Skycrane portion of things that are making things go all crazy for me, because those nuclear engines are super heavy. They are very efficient, but they are also very heavy. And honestly, I don't think I need them on the Skycrane part, because all the Skycrane is going to do is bring the thing down and drop it on the planet or wherever it's going, and then it's just going to fly off and explode. So it's not like I need all the extra fuel, I need to get out of there or anything. No, that thing just needs to get me to the ground and then get away. So yeah, I think I'll just use the smaller engines, the LV909s or whatever they're called, instead. I think those will work much better. Anyhow, we did manage to get ourselves spun around, which is pretty sweet, but that did also kind of screw us over because we wasted a lot of time doing that spinorama action, which meant that was precious time I needed to use to burn to get myself into orbit. Yeah. Not happening. As you can see, I'm starting to drop. And yeah, I may have been able to save this orbit, but in the end I decided to just scrap it because I would rather I'd rather have a proper orbit going. I don't want to have a good 30 seconds where all I'm doing is spinning around in space, unable to get back on the trajectory where I'm supposed to go. So yeah, I do end up just scrapping this launch as well and trying another one. But as you can see, we're like right now I'm not really doing much of anything, and I'm just having so much trouble contouring this thing, and that's because I'm still in the atmosphere. And yeah, you can see the orbit there is spreading out. I am now catching up. I'm at the apoapsis again, so I could almost definitely rescue this orbit. But I don't know. Right here, I just lose my main engine, and that was the point right there. I don't really want to do it with just the second stage there, because I am so low. I don't think the second stage will have enough power to be able to get me into a proper orbit. And right now, I'm having insane trouble trying to even get it back on track. I don't want to use all my RCS, but I end up having to use a lot of it. And that's another reason why I decided to scrap it. I want to be efficient with my resource usage. So, yeah, that is not happening in this run around. And yeah, we're past the apoapsis again now, and not enough. So let's go back to the launch pad and show you just the final change before I call the episode. All I did was just change the engines up top there. We put the LV909s up in the top stage, the Skycrane portion, so hopefully having much less weight up there will make sure that this ship won't just spin around like crazy like it tends to do all the time. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this, and in the next episode you will actually get to see this thing make a landing and drop off the rover, and we'll have some rover adventures on, well, I'm thinking about probably the moon. Yeah, we're probably going to visit the moon, visit the Arch. Anyway, guys, I will see you next time.